Miss Alison Troll, are you available and interested in speaking?
Yes, I'm interested in speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please state your name and where you live, and you have 2 minutes.
My name is Alison Troll. I live on Wood Street in Providence, Rhode Island. And I apologize. Was not aware of the 2 minute limit, so I'm going to try and keep my testimony really brief. But I am speaking today because I have severe concerns about the use of excessive force by Providence Police specifically. The first time I became aware of this problem was through a friend of mine named Joshua Robinson. Some of you may remember his name, some of you may not, but he was a young man who was stopped for a traffic violation in Providence, Rhode Island, for rolling through a stop sign. And he was brutally assaulted by 6 police officers right here in Providence. And I believe he was 22, 23, maybe when the incident happened. He was a young man. And there was no reason for the violence that was put against him. The photos after the incident and after he was detained show him with black eyes, swollen face. The camera footage showed police officers pinning him to the ground for no reason. He should not even have been out of his car. This incident, some of you might remember because it was in the news. There were protests in our city. And eventually, so Joshua Robinson was charged with assaulting the police officers as a cover-up for having been assaulted by these police officers. He was thankfully acquitted of these charges, which should never have been pressed against him to begin with. But he never got justice for what happened to him. So he's just one example. He is a black man, and he did not deserve what came to him. And I know his story is one of many, and many that I do not even know, of police using excessive force and not being held accountable for their actions. I have also witnessed and documented with video a police officer using excessive force against a high school student on Westminster Street, right outside of the Providence School Department building. I pulled over. I'm a mental health counselor, as a matter of fact, and I work with teenagers. I saw an incident unfolding between 2 teenage girls, a fight, and I was pulling over my car to get out and try to help de-escalate the situation. It was after school. There were lots of students around. I watched a police officer come over and grab this teenage girl around her waist and wrestle her to the ground. And I never want to see a teenage girl handled that way. That is inappropriate. That is excessive. Where are the de-escalation techniques? Where are the counselors after school to help teenagers navigate conflicts and navigate interpersonal difficulties? Why are we relying on police officers to do this work? This is inappropriate. They are not trained for this, and they're causing harm to our kids, our youth, our young people. And I don't want any of our young people having to grow up in this town fearful of what's going to happen to them because our police are out of control and cannot be reined in. I appreciate that Providence is leading a number of cities in having passed the Community Safety Act, which added a lot of great protections for citizens in knowing what their rights are when they're being stopped by police and helping them get those rights and needs met. I do not think it's enough. I think there's more and more we can do, and we can start doing that by cutting the police budget and redirecting those funds where they are most needed. And that includes funding for counselors in schools, not cops. There should never be cops in schools. That's not their job. That's not what they're trained for. We need more counselors in schools to support emotional and social development in our kids. We need to fund housing in our city. We need more resources for folks who are living on the streets without housing. We need more programs for bringing community together. We need more funding for our nonprofits that are doing work on the ground, like Amore, Rhode Island, and like Prism and DARE. These organizations need funding, and these are the ways that we're going to actually keep our communities safe, not by funding police. I'm going to wrap up there for now. I could say way more, but I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for the time.